Alright, so I did the post on my Discord server and YouTube asking what the Pilgrim community wants in future updates for the game, and here are the responses. Starting off with the first one from Dynaman saying that we need more gems and accessories. I 100% agree with this, since even with reworks and other stuff, they aren't anything new. I guess the reworks make an item feel completely different and it's basically a new item, but whenever you actually see someone use these items, I get that they are accessories that aren't endgame, but besides the cactus fruit, nobody is going to use these accessories in the normal playthrough. What Dino means is new accessories that can compete with our current accessories. So far, no other item was able to compete with our current items because the ones they have been adding only work for one weapon or just not that good. We need more items that are universal to one's playstyle, like a rubber band type powerful accessories for melee, or new mage accessories in general. Seriously, mage accessories are just so bare bones right now. I don't think we need these many weapons. If we are getting so many weapons every update, might as well add a couple of accessories that complement new weapons, not old weapons. I mean, they are still welcome, but we kind of want something new to play with and not discover that the martial kite scrolls only give from ability. Okay, now we can go to the gem part. I don't think Pilgrim needs more gems right now. We are only saying this because half of the gems suck compared to old ones. It's either they buff the bad ones or nerf the good ones. Next one is by Mem. They said that they should add more summoner stuff, and I also agree with this one. The devs are slowly transitioning into adding more summoner stuff in forms of small patches, and eventually, new items in the summoner-based armor in future updates. In only a couple months, we got summoner reforges, summoner heavies, summoner gems, and mushroom cap giving one extra summon. It's great! Next one by Crypt, I think that's how you pronounce her name. They said that Pilgrim needs gambling. Well, it would be fun just by having this on the side, but it certainly needs to be added to the game. Next one by Squiddler, I think that's how you pronounce it. They said that the game needs more helmets. I'm just going to turn this question to more armor. You can basically apply this question to the one at the beginning of the video, but it's armor instead of accessories. That's all I'm going to say. Next one by Oring. They said that the devs should do more sneak peeks and give dates for updates. I don't think this should be the case, since the game right now only has 3 developers and they also have their own personal stuff to do as well. Giving us dates for others who do nothing more but stress them out and might either lead to rushed and low quality updates or community backlash for delays. Also, going off of the 3 developers memo, you can't really expect much from big updates. I hate to admit it, but one sneak peek could reveal so much about the update and they're better off leaving it as a surprise. Next one is by Tonio the Pick Sauce. Funny username, by the way. He said that the game needs more quests, and I think that's valid, but I don't really think the game needs to add more quests. The game in its current state of quests is fine right now, honestly. They had at least 1 new quest per update, and who knows, maybe that might more. Next one is by B. He said more endgame content and mentioned the gambling post from earlier. I do think the game needs more endgame content, but you can't really do something like that in a game like this. I mean, I guess something like an auction house would be cool and adds a whole new use to gold, but I don't think this is something that the developers want to add in the Pilgrim. Next one is by Coffee. They said that the game needs more levels. They also said that the game needs more armor, but we already talked about this earlier, so let's talk about levels instead. The game right now doesn't need more levels. There isn't enough content for there to be new levels. If they do like 2 to 4 big updates, I think that would be a good time to introduce a new level cap, but not too high, maybe something like 35 or something. Next one by a guy. Yes, that's his username. I checked. They said that Pilgrim needs a hard mode. They aren't talking about hardcore mode. I mean, I guess it's valid for those who want a bigger challenge, but this wouldn't fit with the game's design of both normal and hardcore saves interacting. Also, it would probably be really hard to make, so currently I don't think Pilgrim needs a hardcore mode. Next one by someone IO04. They said that they should add a dungeon that changes monthly and gives you badass rewards. So like a Deep Rock Galactic Deep Dive. Jokes aside, I think this would be a good idea, and I thought the Tower of Dylane would be going in a direction like this. Monthly dungeons would put some stress on the 3 devs though. It would be a good idea if they had more developers to work on the main game and manage the dungeon. Next one by Sandsworth. He said that he would like bosses that utilize multiple players, and I agree with him. A lot of people in this game love to play with their friends, so it would be real nice to see a boss that utilizes multiple players and isn't just like aggro, parry, rinse, and repeat. I feel the main problem with this idea though is how would solo players beat these bosses? Alright, now we're going to the segment where we asked other Pilgrim YouTubers what they think Pilgrim needs. First one is Foolery, the guy who is the map pet of Pilgrim. He basically wants more areas in the game to explore, and a game mode where you can fight all of the bosses that are in Big Iron. With the areas part, we're already getting more areas to explore every big patch. I guess he wants more in these updates, which is valid. But yeah, with the non-Big Iron game modes, maybe this could be a community challenge later on instead of an addition. But maybe they might need to add something later on once the game gets an influx of newer bosses. We've only had 4 new bosses so far, and a declassified creepy crab, so we just have to wait. Next one is Tonio, the guy who made those very popular Pilgrim Slander videos. He said that he wants an alternate game mode, like the one I mentioned earlier, but he went into more details saying that he wants the game's current bosses to be way harder with the upgraded stats and extra attacks. He wants this because it'll add more replayability to it, like Terraria, and won't be boring immediately. I get that this would be cool and fun and all, but it doesn't really fit the game all that much with its multiplayer aspect and crossplay between hardcore and normal players. Also, like I said with the other post talking about a harder game mode, it would be hard to make and consume a lot of the game's resources. Tonio also mentioned one of his friends saying that they need to make Summoner class a functioning one. I don't really need to say a lot for this one since I already talked about this earlier, so let's move on. Anyway, so turns out Fetty Presbyter didn't answer my question, which was pretty surprising since Brick Roadblocks answered one of my DMs before this guy. Well, besides that, this marks the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Join my Discord server if you want to interact with me and other people that enjoy my content. And with that, this is 3ND, and we'll see you beautiful fellas next time. Goodbye.